Hello all, welcome back. This is Sami. So in this video we will see the day 15 for Hello all, welcome back. This is Sami. So this is of day 15 with 50-day Dataverse Microsoft Dynamics JavaScript challenge. And today we'll cover couple of the items which we have discussed because in the week 1 and week 2 we have already discussed about creating and including JavaScript libraries in MSCRM and organizing the code with JavaScript functions in Microsoft Dynamics CRM and how we are using the closures to incorporate Microsoft Dynamics CRM logic. So these things we have already seen, but I'll just make a touch base of these items so that we can just move into the other items. So I'll just quickly go to our CRM system. So I'll just go to the solutions. I'll go to the solution here. So as I said, I'll just quickly go here. So it says creating and including JavaScript libraries in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So if I go to web resource, I'll directly click on new. I'll click on more. I'll click on web resource. So, so if I want to create a, what can I say, uh, the JavaScript which I'm already having in my Visual Studio, like after creating that one, I can directly upload that file, or else I can just simply say function on load operation, and I can save this one as well. Okay, so this is how, and the file type we need to select it as a JavaScript, and we can say, provide some name, and we can click on save, so that this JavaScript will automatically get saved to our environment, and that we can directly use it in our the form level or in the entity level or in the ribbon level. There we can easily use it out. So this is how we can directly say it is for creating and including JavaScript libraries in MSCRM. Let's see about organizing the code with JavaScript functions in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So for that we have already used our what can I say, the JavaScript which we are already having. So for example, if this is a function and this function is used only on a particular field, or if I want to call it in the onload, I can directly call it from the onload operations. Like if I just go to onload operation, so this is the onload operation. So when a page gets loaded, these functions or these script will automatically get executed. Inclusive of that one, so we are having the what can I say, the sub functions also available. So from there it will automatically trigger these functions as well. So this is how we can just directly organize our code. So instead of going and writing onload in uh, JavaScript again and again, we can have one dedicated onload function in our JavaScript, and we can include the onload operations inside the parent function as a sub function, or else whenever we are moving the solution from one environment to another environment, you need to directly go to our form and you need to keep on adding the onload operations. Instead of that one, you can just directly use this as a method, like as a onload method. You can just directly call this as a sub function method, and this will be directly gets used, and this will directly gets triggered on the onload operation, onload of the JavaScript function. Now I'll just go for the next one. So using the closures to encapsulate Microsoft Dynamics CRM logics. So as I said, whenever you are making an operation, make sure that the logic, because it is like a case sensitive operation in a JavaScript. So for example, if you are using like form context as or else like get attribute, if I say get attribute as small, it won't work. It will just directly throw the error. So make sure that whenever you are perform a single line of function or the syntax, that you are using it properly, and you are using the closures also, make sure that you are using it in a proper manner, so that whenever you are triggering a function or triggering an operation, this will directly pass the execution, else it will directly throw the error. So make sure you are using the semicolon as well at the last of the function or last of the line, so that it will avoid the mistakes to uh, come over with the issues which we are occurring during the operations. Now let's go for avoiding the global variables in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. If I just say, so these are the global variables which I've just used it here. So what is mean by global variables? So for example, in the onload operation, I have these functions available. So during the page gets loaded, I'm getting this value set it over here. Okay. And these functions, like for example, label one, I set the value during the onload, and I'm just using this function, sorry, this variable in this function, which means that when a page gets loaded, I set this variable and I'm just using it in another, in any places, in any functions I can able to use it. Or else see, for example, consider this is a where form context which I'm just used. So this form context I can able to use only in these operations. You can able to see the highlights. But if I just say double click on the label, if you just see the highlighted label can be used in these places. For example, in the global option, I have used it as label one, and this is used in onload, and that label is reused it in the uh, show hide field based on a condition. So when you can use this type of global variables, you can use these type of global variables only if you want, instead of making a multiple get value or set value or retrieve value using some JavaScript method. You can just declare it in a global, set the variable in one place, use that in whole the page, like whole the scripts wherever you want. So that is how you can directly use the global variables here. And the best practices for a Microsoft Dynamics CRM purpose performance. So whenever it is good to go with the global variables, if you are using a global variable, make sure that global variable used it in the all the places. And if you are making retrieve calls or update calls, because that and all we did not come into our session, that we'll see it in the future sessions. If you are making a retrieve call or retrieve multiple call or update call, so such kind of thing if you are using, so make sure that you are using a single call to make all these type of operations, else it will make a performance affected. So make sure that if, for example, I'm having this onload operation and I don't want this to be performed in an onload operation. Instead of that one, if I have a field available, on change of that field, I want to trigger this one. Such kind of thing available, what happens? You can just remove this function from the onload and you can directly call it on the on change of that operation, so that whenever an on change operation gets triggered, this function will automatically gets called. So such kind of thing you can improve your code to what can I say, to make the code in a to work in a better performance manner. This is just a simple way which I'm just saying, but it depends. For example, if a business flow can able to do a validation, you don't want to have a JavaScript. So such kind of comparison also will be there to make the code and the performance related to the load of the page or load of the what can I say, the grid. It will work in a very simpler manner. So just identify which path you need to choose. You need to choose whether you need to go for a business rule, or you want to have this function in onload, or you just want this function to work only on particular operation like an on change operation or on save operation. So choose that right way and just use it in the correct place, so that you won't hit the performance wise. And debugging the MSCRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM with browser console. So for example, as I used to, so whenever we are having an, you want to debug something. So in JavaScript, we are having an option called debugger. We can just simply use this debugger to debug in the client side script. So I have used a debugger in all the places. It's not matter that you need to use a debugger. It's not necessary. You need to always use a debugger. So without debugger also you can able to do it. How we can do it? For example, I'll just go to this one. I'll go to our model driven app. Let me open this model driven app. Once the model driven app gets loaded, you can just click on F12, the keyboard button which you are having, or else you can just directly right click and you can say inspect. That's it. So you here you can able to see the sources will be available. Now, if I just open this one, here you can able to see our debug automatically gets triggered. So if I say F10, 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 which means that F10 will directly go for the next line, or else here at the right side you can able to see the next button. So it will automatically click on this one. It will navigate to the next button of the next function of this one. So here you can able to identify what is the function, what is the value which we are getting. So so here you can able to see it is a onload function, and here we are calling this sub function. If you want to go inside this sub function, you can just directly say F11, or else if you want to just directly go to this function. Here you can just click at I think the debugger is already there, so I'll just click on F11, so it came here. So consider I want to put a debugger here. So because I don't want to write a debugger, instead of that one I can just directly click on this one, so the blue color line appears. I'll just directly run this one, so which means that it automatically hits the debugger. So using a debugger is easy. You can either use a debugger keyboard, or just directly right click on that one and inspect element and go to the source. And for example, so I'll just run this fully. So consider I'll just say Control P. It will automatically come what are the files available. I'll directly search for the file which we have created, like Bosch underscore 50-day challenge. Sorry, Control P. I think what is the JavaScript name which is available? Let me quickly see the JavaScript name. I'll just go to the web resource. It's CRB46. Okay, I'll just say CRB46 underscore database challenge. So here you can able to easily find this one, and you can just directly put a debugger and you can process it. So this is how you can easily debug the JavaScript as well. So I'll just go to the next one. So writing a reusable code for multiple forms in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So for example, uh, currently we are having only one form available here. Just nothing but I'll just go to the table. I'll go to the forms. So here we are having only one main form available. If you are having a multiple forms, like consider I have another form available, and you want to use the same JavaScript, how you can use it? The same as like this. I'll just open this form. In this form, I'll just directly add the JavaScript library here. And what are the fields which we are using in the JavaScript? The same field you need to have it here, and you can directly call our function. So which means that you don't want to write separate function for each different forms. You can, if the field is available, consider I have this JavaScript available, and this onload operation contains these fields like day name, set value, option set values, and multi-select option set fields. So like these are the option field which is available. And if you plan to reuse this onload operation in a different form, make sure that these fields are already available in the form to get this same function reusable. If this is not available, then you need to write a separate function to avoid this one, or else you can just simply do another operation that if if this field is not equal to null, then you can perform these whole operations, which means that if this field is not available in the form, then it will skip this step and it will process the other steps. So it is good to have this type of conditions, null checks or undefined checks to be there, so that you can directly skip this step and you can process this one. So this is how you can reusable this form, reusable these uh, code in a different form as well. So as of now, we just seen this one because usually I should have done these things in the prior so that it will be well and good. But from the first video, we have started using the JavaScript part, like creating a JavaScript, putting it into the CRM system, and done all these steps. So now going further, I mean, as we have covered this 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So these are all basic steps that we have already covered. That's why I'm just covering these all into a single video. Now, In the week 4, we can just see how we can use uh, retrieve method, how we can programmatically create a record, update record. I think O data manipulation, fetch XML, and handling these records. So these type of things we'll just see it in our upcoming sessions. Hope you like this video. Please drop me a comments if you have any queries and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.